Hello and welcome to another episode of Now About That with James and Sarah. I'm James.
I'm Sarah.
And in this week's episode, we're going to discuss YouTube and Twitch professional gamers and dive into a game that has been viral recently. It's called the Mortuary Assistant. So first, I want to give a quick trigger warning since we are going to be talking about the game. It does include some discussion about drug addiction, and then also there's some information about suicide and overdose in there as well. But first, I just want to kind of do a quick explanation of the game. And I actually saw it. I can't remember if I saw Jacksepticeye play it first or if it was Markiplier play it first. But I watched it. One of them I've watched first, and then I've just watched several other people play it now in addition. So what the game is called the Mortuary Assistant. And in the game, the main person, her name is Rebecca Owens. She's working on her internship at the Riverside Mortuary. And it starts off with Rebecca talking to her grandmother in the diner about her new job, and then we move into her first embalming in the game. So she's a mortuary assistant, and her first embalming starts off regular. So she walks in and there's a body that has already been embalmed. So she puts it away, and then she brings out another one and starts her embalming. It starts out fine, and then when she starts putting the embalming fluid into the tank to start the embalming portion, things start going weird. So a window shuts while there's no one around, and then one of the chemicals goes flying across the room. And then the guy, the main mortician, Raymond, just tells her, oh, it's just been stored weird, or the window it's just an old window and it falls every now and then. So he just writes it off. And then at the end, when she's ready to moisturize the corpse's face, is when she hallucinates and sees the corpse face melt and then look at her and start talking. And then it cuts because Raymond brings her out of the hallucination, tells her that she can go ahead and head home. And then we're in a cut scene where she's actually at home, and she gets a phone, or she's talking on the phone with one of her friends, letting her know that she thinks she screwed up. And then Raymond calls her and tells her to go ahead and come in, and she can start working that night. And then that's where it starts going weird. So she gets to the funeral home, mortuary home, I don't even know what it's called. And she starts working, but before she starts, the door shuts and locks and the phone rings, and it's Raymond telling her that he didn't realize she was going to be touched by a demon, or the demon wanted to take her, until she started with the first body in the morning. And he tells her, just work your way through the 3 cadavers that are there, and just as normal, but you have to figure out which one the demon wants, figure out what's the demon's name is, and put the mark together with the correct symbols onto the demon and cremate the demon, the body with the demon, for the end of the game. Does everything sound about right now so far, Sarah?
Yes.
It's a lot. It's a really cool video, or a cool game. It's a lot. And then as she's going, so part of the story in the game is as she goes through, you find out that her mother had a drug addiction problem when she was younger. Rebecca was younger, and she actually died from a drug overdose. And Rebecca found her. Her dad sent her away to live with her mom, or her grandmother, while he checked into a drug rehabilitation center. And he became clean and sober for about 5 years. But while he was away in the drug rehabilitation center, Rebecca herself developed a drug addiction to heroin. That's the only drug they talk about in the game, is heroin. So I'm assuming the dad and the mom had the same addiction, and she may have actually, it doesn't cover this in the game, but she may have been born with a drug addiction when she was little. And then it just kind of continued on throughout her adolescence. But her dad gets out, he's 5 years clean, and Rebecca goes missing when she's 14. And part of what we find out is that her dad is searching for her, finds her, goes to get the police to come and the police and emergency services to come and collect her from where he found her and take her off. And when he's running back, he slips on the rocks next to her and falls and busts his head open and dies. So he's 5 years sober. After this, he finds her, he falls, breaks his head open and dies. And then that kind of pushes her to go into her sobriety journey. And during her sobriety journey, she ends up being 10 years clean. So she went through a drug rehabilitation center, became clean for 10 years, and then she started working on her, I'm assuming like a mortician's license or something like that. It doesn't really super talk about that very clear in the game. But it's really cool. I think the game is really cool. And it has a lot of really funny jump scares, and some of the demons are, I guess they're not really demons, they're more like spirits, I think, in the game are kind of, some of them are kind of funny, but there are some really scary jump scares in there. So what did you think about the game?
So I only watched Markiplier's playthrough. And I found it very interesting. This is definitely my type of game, the kind of game that I would play. Because some of the scares especially remind me of BioShock, which is one of my all-time favorite horror games. But definitely, it's kind of, I'm trying to think of the words. My brain is not functioning because I woke up from a nap a little bit ago, and yeah.
We are recording this on a very weird day and a very weird time. Typically, we record on a Friday at 6 o'clock my time. Six my time.
Yeah, 6 your time, 5 my time.
Yeah.
And today it's currently 4:21 my time on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But it was my fault that we didn't record on our usual day or yesterday. So my bad. But no, one of the interesting things that I liked about it was that you actually get to do some of the mortuary work.
Yeah.
Which, like, doing some of the paperwork and doing like the actual embalming and cremating processes was very interesting.
Yeah. I think the funniest thing is there was a demo that Markiplier and a couple of other people like Jacksepticeye and I think even Ethan from Crank Game plays. Is that what it's called? They played the demo, and the demo, I think I would have liked if they continued with that more, because it was set in like current day time period. It wasn't set in the 1990s, 1980s. It was 90s. So it had like modern computers and stuff like that. And it was funny. The software, or the database that they use, the night shift database, it's literally they have it modeled off of Netscape. Like that's the browser that they have, and I thought it was the Netscape, but then I realized it's not NS for Netscape, it's just an N, which is a very old web browser that is no longer existent.
The good old days.
I think one of my favorite jump scares in the entire game is when you're sitting there, or you're working on the body, and you go away to do something, and the body like twitches and moves around, and then it points to the door, and it wants you to go down the hallway. And then once you go into the hallway, the body is standing, or a body, it's not always the one that you're working on. But the a body is standing at the end of the hallway. So you get down there and it disappears. The light goes off, it disappears. And then you turn around and it runs towards you.
Yeah. So that's the parts that freak me out, because like any weird body contortions. Okay, so like I have a deep-seated fear of contortionists. I don't think you should be able to move in these ways. It's very weird. It's very unsettling, very uncanny valley for me. So I think that's one of the things that made it really interesting to me was how the bodies are constantly getting all kinked up.
So that, and then I liked the one, like there's this one jump scare, and we want to talk about all of it. That way, if anyone that's listening does want to go watch the video or play the video game, then, and we would encourage you to. And I'm going to include some links to some of the videos that I watched in the description of this podcast. But one of the jump scares that I really enjoyed was when she's working on a body and then she goes to like pick up the cleaning supply, or I don't know. It's just randomly triggered sometimes. But it like cuts to her in an apartment, an old apartment, a run-down apartment, and she has to collect. So she collects like the hypodermic needle, the bag of heroin, the spoon, and then the lighter to actually do the heroin. And then she sits down on the ground, and then you just see in the bathroom, because she's sitting in view of the bathroom, one of the spirits slowly stands up from the bathtub and then runs at her.
Yeah. It's like that scene from Get Out for me.
Yeah.
Where guy comes running out of the mist for no fucking reason.
He was just out for a night jog, Sarah.
He was out for a night jog.
Don't you go for night jogs? Come on.
No, I don't. I'm AFAB. That is not a thing that is safe for me to do. But like that stuff scares me, but also I find it really intriguing. I think it's an interesting trigger for fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah.
Or in my case, fight, flight, freeze, or vomit. Because depending on how scared I am, I might vomit.
Yeah. I just thought it would be fun to discuss, and then I was like, "Ooh, we could also discuss actual, like, instead of just it being about that game, talk about some gamers that we like to watch." Because I'm the type of person that I don't really like to play games, but I really like to watch people play games. Mm-hmm. Like I could watch, like I remember I used to go over to your house and watch you play. What was the game just called? Bioshock. Yeah. When I was younger, my brother we had a PlayStation or like an Xbox 360 and stuff like that. And I would watch him play just random games. That's why I think it's awesome that they have these gamers that get paid a lot of money, some of them, to just live stream and record themselves playing games. I think my nephew is I think he's trying to do it. I think he has a game. I don't know, a game. He has a he has a YouTube channel. I don't know if he has a Twitch stream, but I do know he has a YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Where he plays games and stuff. So
that's actually how I got into playing video games, was watching my ex-husband play games, and then being like, that looks really fun and interesting. Let me play. So I agree. I think it's great. I think the only person I watch with any regularity is Markiplier.
Yeah.
Because I think his reactions are hilarious. And he also plays like a very wide variety of games. Yeah. Like his car wash simulator. I don't know why, but I love watching him like clean the vans in the car wash simulator.
Yeah,
Like,
well, are you talking about the power wash
yeah, the
simulator
power
thing?
wash simulator.
Because he
Uh,
also, like, I saw one of them. I didn't cut you off, but I saw one of them where he was. It was like a tree house, like a really massive, like house in the trees that he was power washing.
mm,
And there was also like, I guess, a jump scare element to it as well, because there was like if you heard rumbling in the background, like there was something that was coming, but it never actually did anything. But it was just funny.
but I have watched some of Jacksepticeye's videos. I think he's really interesting. I I like I cannot remember his girlfriend's name, but his girlfriend also does some Twitch streaming, and
Jacksepticeye?
yes, she does some Twitch streaming, some YouTube stuff. She plays very laid back videos, which I like. She plays like there's this one where you're going through your different moves. So you're like unpacking your boxes and setting up your first college apartment, your first apartment by yourself, you know, your first time living with your boyfriend, you know, that kind of thing. Which I thought was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. I'm really weird in the games that I like. I either like being scared or being able to just run around and kill things. Like, what?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I was looking up the Crank gameplays and it just randomly started playing.
Love that for us. No, I really like Oblivion and Skyrim. I like those kinds of games, but I also really like laid back games where you're not really doing a whole lot. You're just chilling out. So like one of my favorites was Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
Where you have your own little farm, and like I named one of my cows Pineapple and one of them named Beefly. So I had like Beefly and Pineapple, and like, you know, just growing all different kinds of things, tending your plants, going fishing. Like,
and that, what is that one game now? It's Animal Crossing.
mm-hmm.
It's kind of similar to that. Like you have your own little island and you can, there's a whole crazy, I don't want to say crazy. There's a whole like big group about of people that's all they do, or that's what they talk about.
Yeah.
I think there's even like
I haven't gotten into it.
I think you have to have what is that called? A Switch. So you have to have a Switch to play it, I think.
Yeah, and I don't, because I'm old, and the only thing I have is an Xbox 360 that I realized the other day is about half my age.
I don't think there's an option like a PC or anything else like that option for that game. Like it is just, you have to have a Switch to play it. But there's like a whole online group where you can invite people to come to your island and like have a party and stuff like that in an island.
Change things and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten too much into that because like I said, I don't play the games. I just enjoy watching people play the games. And then like it's mainly either Sean from Jacksepticeye. I think his name is actually Jack. I don't remember.
I think his name is actually Sean.
Sean, yeah, Sean something. But he goes like his name on YouTube, and I think even Twitch is Jacksepticeye. But I like watching his videos, and Markiplier, and I have this thing where, and Ryan gets annoyed because I do it. I will watch just compilations of him playing the same game. So it's Markiplier, and then like two of his friends. I can't remember their names right now. I have to look it up. But it's them playing games on Aid. Wade is one of them. But they played The Forest, which is a really insane game. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that one.
But it's like they get into they get into a plane accident, and they're on this island, and they have to like survive on this island, and then they find out that there are primalized people. I don't really know how to explain it, but like they've become very primal, and like they attack them at some point, and so they have to fight them off, and then try and find one of the people's kids, which they never pay really that close attention to it until it's like at the very end of the game.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the names. It's Wade and something. What the other guy's name is? I want to say it's Chris, but I don't think that's right. But they play The Forest. They play Phasmophobia, which is also a really awesome and very fun game. I've seen them play. And then they do Jack, Wade, and Bob. So Wade and Bob are the ones that he usually plays with.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it. I should have done this beforehand.
Like the one thing where you didn't excessively research.
So Bob's his YouTube channel's name is, I don't know how to say it, Muskerin. So it's Muyskern. Like I said, I will put links to these in the links to their actual YouTube page in the description of this podcast. And then, so there's Bob, which you see if you can find his name on the actual. They don't put their names in here. It's kind of frustrating. Still doesn't even say his name. But Bob is one of them, and then the other one's Jack, not Jack, Wade, and his name is Lord Dominion 777 on YouTube, and there's Jacksepticeye as well. So they all play these games, and they're really funny. They always have really funny interactions, and they freak out all the time. But I just enjoy watching them. Sometimes they can get their voices or their discussions get a little grating, and it takes a lot. But it is a lot of times it's pretty funny. So Mark, sometimes he does repeat himself over and over way too much, almost to the extent that I have to either skip through some of it or mute the channel or mute the TV for a little while until it gets past that spot. But that's the Twitch, the videos, the gamers that I watch. And then there's, let's see, who else do I have? Looking through my YouTube subscriptions. What's his name from, oh gosh. Oh, my brain isn't working either, Sarah.
You can't even blame it on the brain fog.
Julian. Jenna's partner, boyfriend, now I think fiance right now. He games. Granny, oh my god, I love Granny. Have you watched any of videos?
No, not yet.
She is hilarious. Granny is a YouTuber, Twitch streamer from, I want to say either, I want to get it right. I don't want to say her name. I don't want to say it's wrong. I want to say she's from New Zealand. Okay. I didn't want to say New Zealand, and I didn't want to say Australia when she's actually from New Zealand, but she's from New Zealand. And she plays these games, and she's hilarious. She has this New Zealand accent. She makes me laugh a lot because she's just insane. She played the Mortuary Assistant, and she freaked out because she was completely scared, and she just screamed. What should have taken her 30 minutes to do, it took her 2 hours to play the entire game. Just one run through. It took her 2 hours because she was scared.
It's only taking 2 hours because we are absolutely petrified, my guys. We're just gonna speed through this.
So there's Granny, there's Julian, which I think this is Julian too, where he posts all of his games. I like him a lot. And then I also follow Markiplier. There's another one that I recently followed, but I don't know that I do anymore now. Oh, Valkyrie. She is I would say she's of Asian descent, but I don't know what part of Asia. Her name is Ray, and her handle is Valkyrie.
Nice.
She does a lot of live streaming and video gaming. She's interesting too, but she was part of that big major thing where Among Us.
Yeah.
When that was really big and a bunch of people were playing it. That's where I saw her play some games, and then it was her, and his name is Toast, I think is what he goes by. And what was that other guy's name? I don't know. I can't remember his name. But those are the main ones I follow, and then Lord Minion, which I can just subscribe.
You definitely watch a lot more than I do because I'm boring, and most of what I do is listening to scary stories rather than actually watching people play stuff.
So that's what I joke with Ryan a lot. I say, if someone goes through my YouTube and looks at what all I watch and what I'm subscribed to, it is so random. Because there's fashion channels, there's Jeffree Star, there's Jenna Marbles. I have all of these random YouTube channels, and then you'll also see I have car channels, where they're talking about cars, and science channels where they're doing science experiments and redoing or refinishing things that have rusted over and stuff like that. I also have the drag race channels, so Trixie and Katya.
Yeah, I definitely I watch a lot of Trixie and Katya. I watch a lot of their shorts on YouTube or their compilation videos. I love their compilation videos.
And I just realized I'm subscribed to Boston Scientific's YouTube channel for some reason.
Okay, there you go. But most of what I watch on YouTube is I watch some compilation videos. I really like watching K-pop compilations of different groups acting ridiculous or things like that. I like watching Don't Sing challenges. I don't watch them as much anymore because I don't have anybody to watch them with. And it's really not fun to do a Don't Sing challenge all by yourself. And then I watch Lazy Masquerade and Be Busta for creepy content.
Yeah, if I look, I'm gonna scroll through my homepage of YouTube, just go over some of the stuff that's being pushed to me right now. So the very top, there's Mom Podcast, which is Willem in Alaska from Drag Race. There's Markiplier Plays Phasmophobia, a Twitch stream VOD, which is 3 hours long.
Good Lord.
There's a Trixie and Katya fan-made video. Coffee Granita with Claire Sappitz for Dessert Person. There's so much weird stuff on mine. And then at the very next thing, it's Apple iOS 16 14 settings you must change on launch.
Okay.
And then there's a TV for dogs thing. And then the very last thing in that second section is This Is Why Thorgy Drinks, a compilation. Such a random
I love
collection.
That. I love everything about that. I mean, at least it's not like my Netflix recommendations, which are insane because all I do is watch British baking shows and Korean dramas and scary movies. So the algorithm's a little weird there.
Well, then I have also random exploring an abandoned seaside prison in Spain.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
And then the very next video, not cheating at water marble, simply stream highlights, simply nailogical. So it's a fingernail polishing channel. So funny. All right, well, let's take a quick break. So we'll break down and come back, and we'll be back and we'll continue the discussion.
Oakley dokley.
All right, welcome back. So now, like the last couple 30-ish minutes, we were talking about gamers, and we talked about a specific game called the Mortuary Assistant, which, like I said, will include links to all the gamers we talked about, and the game, some of the videos of them playing the game in the description below. But I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the gamers that, or some of the YouTubers that are YouTubers and they're famous, but they don't actually show their face on YouTube. So one of the more recent ones, or a couple of the more recent ones that I can think of, is Corpse Husband and then Dream.
Mm-hmm.
So they both play games, and they do like Twitch live streaming, YouTube live streaming, and they play games, but they have, instead of like a picture of their face, they have a drawing or an animation showing, like not showing their face, but instead of as like a avatar. And I was just reading this article, and apparently PewDiePie is now going to start doing it without showing his face, which I don't really understand how you can go back from being someone that does show your face to just not showing your face anymore.
Yeah.
It says PewDiePie is now a YouTuber, a VTuber, which I'm assuming means virtual YouTuber, and has hidden his face in a reverse face reveal situation. PewDiePie has returned from his break with a mind-blowing idea. He wants to do a face reveal. Unfortunately, for all of his fans know what he looks like, so he can't. Instead, PewDiePie is doing the reverse. He's going hidden, which I don't really understand. I don't really know why you would do that, but whatever.
I mean, more power to him, I guess. As I was saying before we even started, I don't like PewDiePie, so that's a controversial opinion. I know, but
I will say I've never watched any of his videos. I think I watched a little bit of him playing the Mortuary Assistant because I wanted to see some other options of how people play it. And I just couldn't get into his videos for some reason. I don't know what it was.
that's fair.
Let me see if I can find, because I just recently watched another video of someone playing the Mortuary Assistant the other day. I don't remember what their YouTube channel's name was. Real quick. She was pretty funny. Gab Smulders.
That's her name. Jacksepticeye's
Oh,
girlfriend.
interesting. I did think she took a little too long to get to it. And there were some things, and I was like, I mean, if she's Jacksepticeye's girlfriend, did you not watch Jack play the game? Have you not seen him actually like do what you're doing? Because she was stumbling around a lot, and I was like, why are you stumbling around so much?
I think she doesn't always watch what he's doing, so that way she can, figure it out herself.
Which is understandable. But I watched her play it yesterday, and it was pretty good. She actually got almost all of the endings except for one where you just play it through and you don't like you don't do anything, and you get possessed. Saikuno was the other name I was trying to think of. He's a another Asian YouTuber, but also I think he's not a YouTuber. I think he's a Twitch streamer, and he has a YouTube channel though. Mm-hmm. But he was one of those ones that I also watched on when they were playing Among Us. Oh, and then Die Hard Diva, she was fun to watch too. Go directly to the channel instead of okay. I'm trying to open it up so that I have the links to share. But I watched her play it. I think she was like the second or third person I watched, probably the third person I watched play it. She's funny. She only has 13,000 subscribers. That's good. Let's look at subscriber count. So, Bob, who is one of the people that play with Mark, he has 1.02 million subscribers. Wade has 1.76 million YouTube subscribers. We'll come back to Markiplier because I'm sure he has the most. Oh, Granny doesn't have any either. She has 34.3 thousand subscribers. Julian only has 512,000 subscribers, which I'm surprised by that amount too. It's crazy. Valkyrie is one of the ones that she has a big subscriber count. She has 3.7 million subscribers.
Dang.
Gab Smolders has 883,000 subscribers. Let me pull up Jacksepticeye. See how many he has before we look at Markipliers, because I'm sure Mark has a bunch. Vamp, Sarah, vamp.
Sarah, what?
She's not used to vamping.
I can't.
Oh, wow.
I can't vamp.
Jacksepticeye. How many do you think Jack has? Or
Over
Sean?
a million, probably.
He has way more than a million.
Dang.
He has 28.6 million subscribers.
Oof. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. And then Markiplier. How many do you think he has?
Oh, God. More than that, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'll look it up. 33.4.
I wasn't going to look it up. I was going to say like 30 something.
33.4 million subscribers.
Dang.
I'm going to look at some of the people that are from like the early days of YouTube that I still follow. Like my favorite YouTuber, two of my favorite YouTubers, Grace Helbig and Mamrie Hart. Let's see how many they have, which I think they're like in the low millions now. So they used to have, I'd say like 10 million at least. Grace is 2.62 million subscribers. And Mamrie Hart, it's 1.07, so the same as 1.02. So yeah, she has a few more than one of the YouTubers, which she's not very active anymore on her YouTube channel. She's got other things outside of YouTube that she does. The last time she posted a video was 3 months ago, which on her personal YouTube channel. Then she has the one that she does with Grace. This Might Get Weird, which is their podcast, which I listen to. What's that noise?
That was me heavy sighing.
That's terrifying.
I'm sorry. That's me. I'm terrifying. That's how this works.
This Might Get is their YouTube channel where they post their podcast, the video version of their podcast, and they have 170,000 subscribers.
Nice. That's the dream, isn't it? To have more than like 10 dedicated subscribers.
So the first plaque you get is at 100,000, I think. They send you a gold plaque, I think.
Nice.
And then I think the next one, you don't get anything until after 1 million subscribers. And then once you hit 10 million, you get a diamond plaque, which is insane.
I just, that's so many people.
Yeah.
That's so many people. Though, fun fact about Markiplier, actually, he filmed a lot of the scenes for his interactive movie here in Austin. And when I worked for the Austin Bergstrom Airport, he actually walked by me. So like I got to see him in person.
Sarah verbally accosted him.
I did no such thing. It took me a hot minute to realize who it was. Because I saw so many people when I worked for the airport. So it was like one of those, he looks really familiar. And then he was gone down a little ways and I was like, Markiplier. It was like that with Matthew McConaughey too, but apparently everybody knows Matthew McConaughey.
Makes sense. I am just looking at like the YouTubers I follow, and I'm surprised Shane has as many YouTube followers as or subscribers still after his controversy and the fact that he hasn't been super active in the past few years. Like the last one he submitted or uploaded was 4 months ago. And before that it was 5 months. So he's getting more active recently. Because I think he's just ready to start getting more active. But after the whole thing 2 years ago happened, which has 21 million views, he kind of laid off the map for several months. Well, after that, 2 years ago, it was 10 months ago, when his last video was submitted or uploaded before the most recent regular uploads.
I need to like edit my subscriptions, but I follow Lazy Masquerade, Mr. Ballin. He also tells scary and weird stories. I follow a lot of music, obviously. I follow one of my roommates. He and his wife have a travel channel. Travis Mott, M-O-T-T, if anybody's interested. Ryan Reynolds, apparently. I follow Ryan Reynolds on YouTube. Okay, all right, this is a thing. But most of it is a lot of music, and then some like cooking stuff. I do follow Chris Stuckman, who does movie reviews, but I usually wait to watch his movie reviews until after I've seen the movie. That way I don't let him like influence my opinions.
Yeah. I think I need to go through and clear out some of mine too, because I'm like, I have a few BuzzFeed channels that I really don't watch anymore.
Yeah, I don't watch half of my subscribes list anymore.
How many things are you subscribed to?
70.
Let's see how it shows my subscriptions on the subscription page. Oh, no, it doesn't show that. It shows videos from them. Let's see, 160.
Oh, I am subscribed to Dylan Hollis from TikTok as well. He's the one who makes the weird recipes.
Oh, from like the 1700s, 1800s, those things. Or
yeah.
Like the Great Depression era.
Yeah.
Things.
All those.
Yeah, he's funny. I don't know that I follow him though. I'm not subscribed to him.
He recently started his YouTube channel, I think.
Yeah. Are they just some compilations, or some of them are some compilations of his TikTok videos?
I think so, yeah.
So I was looking at my oldest subscriptions, aside from Grace and Mamrie and Hannah Hart, and Good Mythical Morning is also one of my older subscriptions. They have 17.7 million subscribers on their main channel. Their secondary channel, Good Mythical More, has 4.08 million subscribers.
Dang.
And then there's like Graveyard Girl, so Bunny, she has 8.31 million subscribers. There's not a lot of subscribers. It's crazy. Hot Lamode, do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
So, and it doesn't really surprise me that you don't know, because it's he's a big fashion YouTuber. He has 728,000 subscribers, and he just watches runway shows and gives feedback on what he thinks about the runway shows. He also watches like people like reacting to people's closet tours. So he did like reacting to James Charles' closet tour. There was a bunch of like Real Housewife closet tours that he's reacted to. Some of the funniest videos I've ever seen are of him reacting to Say Yes to the Dress video.
I love that.
I watched an episode of Say Yes to the Dress and react to it's mainly Bridesmaids. He doesn't want to do the Brides video. So it's mainly Bridesmaids is what he watches.
Mm.
Hugh Jeffries, he is a big sustainable tech person, and he shows you how to fix and replace like screens and stuff like that on your phones and stuff. It's really interesting to watch. He's from Australia. Yeah, he's Australian.
Nice.
So this episode apparently, just for those listening, is us talking about YouTube.
Apparently.
And going through our YouTube subscriber list, which I think is fun.
No, it definitely is interesting. I'm looking at all of these and going, dang, I did not realize that I was following so many people.
It gives you kind of a look into us as well, like what things we're subscribed to. I'm not even talking about all of the people I'm subscribed to, but it kind of shows you a little bit of our personalities, like the fact that you'll scroll through my YouTube channel and you'll see like IMHO the show, Hugh Jeffries, like all these weird like how to drink or how to cook that, just random stuff that I'm subscribed to. And I think that's like, to me, that's the fun part of YouTube. There's so much content that you can actually consume.
Yeah,
it's available, that it's really like everybody has stuff that they can watch. The part about YouTube that I don't like is sometimes, and I've never really experienced this because I don't have an actual like, YouTube channel. I mean, I started uploading the videos or like stills of the recording portion of this.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from that, there's like one video of Bobo on there. But really, other than that, I don't have actual YouTube stuff. I just watch it and consume. But the side about YouTube I don't like is when they push content that shouldn't be on YouTube, in my opinion. So like something that someone's doing that could be dangerous to them or someone else.
Yeah.
Like there's 5-minute crafts, some of the crafts that they do. And Anne Reardon from How to Cook That talks about them, and she did like a whole few videos about these are things that are on YouTube that shouldn't be on YouTube. And I'll put a link to that in the description. You may have to do a Google Doc and link to the Google Doc because there's a lot. But like, there's a video where they're taking caramel, like hot caramel, hot sugar, and turning on the beaters of a hand mixer.
Oh, yeah.
And putting the hot caramel on there so it flings it into like this shape, which is extremely dangerous because hot caramel is like 300 degrees.
Yeah.
And if you get that on your skin, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So she did a whole video about the dangers of doing that way. And they had one video where they were putting strawberries in bleach to turn them white. Like,
but then you can't eat them.
Yeah, it's like don't do that.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. There's some stuff that I'm just like,
Some things I've just stopped watching their content because it's like there's some that's like super clickbaity, and I don't clickbait.
I don't understand. Like, Nick and I were talking about clickbait yesterday. We were making fun of it. They're like, click through 6 different pages and never get to read the thing that you actually clicked on it for. Like, I clicked on this clickbait for a reason, and then we're just going to repeat the same information for 6 pages, and then you never find out what it was that we were actually talking about to make you click in the first place.
It doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, well, there's like a really salacious title to the video, and then you click in, or there's in the actual like thumbnail of the video, there's, and I'll point to like a we watch a lot of car accident videos, which we really shouldn't, but but we do, and like you'll see this one accident that's highlighted on the thumbnail, and then you watch the video and it's not in the video.
Yeah.
Or like Trixie jokes about it all the time during her videos. There was one where it was her and what's her name, Kimchi. They were doing a mukbang, and Kimchi started coughing, and she goes, "Oh, don't die on my channel. Do you know how fast I would monetize that?" And she goes, "Kimchi dies on film, not clickbait."
Yes.
So funny.
That was one of my favorite videos that we watched, actually.
That's a really funny video.
It is really funny. Oh my goodness.
So, do you want to start wrapping it up and maybe look for some trivia and some fun stuff to do to wrap up the episode?
Yeah, that sounds great.
On theme and do some trivia about YouTube.
YouTube trivia.
Yeah. Let's see. This is an YouTube video.
We could also wrap up by talking about something crazy that we believed in as a kid, that as an adult we were like, oh, that's not actually how this works.
Like what?
So for example, talking about like the Mortuary Assistant and whatnot, you'll know the place that I'm talking about because we lived in Bloomington. But there's this auto body shop across from a car dealership, and one of the like actual office that you go into for the auto body shop is really small, and it just says body shop on it. And then there's this big barn-like structure. It's blue, looks really creepy. When you're like driving back towards where you used to live on Oakdale, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's near Bland's.
Anyways, keep going.
So it's just past Buffalo Wild Wings, where you're going like towards Walmart. It's on the right hand side. So as a little kid, because it said body shop, I thought that's where dead people went. Okay, and then the mortuary that was by where you and I lived off of Gorley Pike.
Yeah.
I thought that was a monastery where monks lived.
There is a monastery not too far from there.
There is a monastery, but that was not the monastery. That was the actual mortuary. But I thought that other building, that body shop, was where dead bodies went, because it says body shop.
I mean, I would think of, when I hear body shop, and I think like, I would think of more of a plastic surgeon's office than.
Yeah, no, as a little kid, I was just like, that's where they take the dead bodies, because that building was freaking creepy too. So like, you're driving past that building and I'm like, yeah, that's where the dead bodies are. But where the actual dead bodies were, I thought there were some nice peace-loving monks living there. Oh, that was something I was thinking about the other day, because I was watching a compilation video of children not understanding how real life works.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I mean, I don't know of anything that. I mean, there's a lot that I thought was, but then I found out later that's not true. I can't think of anything specific right now.
Yeah, because I put you on the spot.
Yeah. But you want to hear some fun, or guess about some fun facts about YouTube?
Sure.
When do you think YouTube was founded?
2005? 2006?
2005, February 14th, 2005.
Valentine's Day, 2005.
Did you know that the current CEO is a woman?
I did not. Power to the women.
How many currently active users do you think are on YouTube?
Oh, billions for sure. How many people live in the world currently? It's like 8 billion, 9 billion. So, yeah. How many people live in the world?
7.8.
Okay, so I was close.
Yeah.
Because I said 8 billion first. So probably about 4 or 5 billion, somewhere in there.
Currently 2.5, yeah. So I mean close, but what do you think is the average age range of the majority of YouTubers using YouTube users, like their age range?
Oh, like actual users, not necessarily YouTubers.
Yeah.
Probably like 15 to 22.
No, surprisingly.
Huh. What is it?
The majority of YouTube users are between the age of 25 and 34.
Nice. I'm almost aged out of that group.
And then, let's see. What do you think is the most watched genre on YouTube?
Probably gaming videos.
No, surprisingly, no. Comedy.
Comedy.
Which that is a kind of a vague description. So is it like stand-up comedy? What are you including as comedy?
Yeah, because a lot of Markiplier's videos are funny.
Yeah.
So, and he is streaming games.
When was the dislike button removed from the platform?
Like, I mean, it's still on there, but they don't count the dislikes anymore. So that was this last year, wasn't it?
2021.
Yeah.
What do you think between male and female? So it's the only two options, I think. Or that's the only statistic they have. What do you think is the female face ratio?
Oh, you mean how many?
Like what percentage do you think
of users are female?
Yeah.
Probably, I want to say like 40-ish%.
46.1% are female, 53.9% are male, or identify as male.
Nice.
Did I tell you? Yeah, 2021.
Yeah, 2021. I remember that. I vaguely remember when YouTube started, like super vaguely. But like 2005 was how long ago?
23 years? No, that's all right. Jeez. What was it, 18?
I think so.
17?
Yeah. Because we were still in high school.
Yeah. Before removing the dislike button, YouTube's Rewind for 2018 is the most disliked video of all time. How many dislikes do you think that video had?
Oh, God. Well, considering that there's like 2-point-something billion users, maybe like 900,000.
20.8 million dislikes.
20.8 million. Dang.
And that's probably why.
That's probably why
they removed the count.
Yeah.
And then I'm just reading some facts about YouTube for the next couple of minutes. YouTube has over 2.5 billion monthly active users as of June 2022. 52% of the internet users worldwide access YouTube at least once a month, which to me it's like daily. It is daily, not it's like daily, it is daily.
No, it's daily for me too.
Over a quarter of the world's population uses YouTube once every month, and more than 50% of mobile internet access or users access YouTube every month.
Dang.
YouTube Premium is the ad-free version of YouTube, which both of us have a subscription to.
Yep.
You also get access to YouTube Music when you purchase YouTube Premium. So that was rebranded from YouTube Red in 2018. So do you remember when it was YouTube Red?
I do remember when it was YouTube Red.
And right now, there are 50 million, as of 2021, 50 million YouTube premium subscribers. I emailed them and I was like, is there a way to do just a yearly subscription instead of a monthly subscription? And they said no.
Dang.
I just want to pay for it once a year and be done with it.
Right. Same.
YouTube is currently banned as of 2022 in 6 countries. China excluding Hong Kong and Macau. MACAU.
Yeah, Macau.
Eritrea. ERITREA.
Eritrea.
Iran. North Korea. Turkmenistan. And South Sudan.
Dang.
And even though there's the Russian-Ukraine war, it's still not banned in Russia. So. All right. So that was some fun facts about YouTube and a dive into Sarah and I's YouTube channel. Nothing super salacious that we went through, at least.
True. That's true.
So thank you all for listening. If anyone is listening to this, if you would like to, please like, subscribe, comment, share the podcast so that other people can listen to it if you would like. And then if you would like to send us a topic that you want us to discuss, you can interact with us at our email address is nowaboutthatpod@gmail.com. And you can also follow us on Instagram at nowaboutthatpod on Instagram as well.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for listening. And since this is your Monday, hopefully by the time I get this edited and uploaded, enjoy your week. And Sarah, enjoy your week since we're doing this on a Sunday.
Thank you. I'll do my best.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Bye.